Mm.
Bad.
Hello, people. As we're taking drinks of our drinks, I've got sweet and spicy hot tea. What I have by, what is it? Good Earth. It's really good. It's really tasty. Don't have to add anything to it. It's delish. And Monique is our guest tonight, and I'm very excited to have her because we are new buddy friends. So we met at meet and greet, and you came all the way from Eastern Washington, and I was like so. I mean, I know that there was others that traveled so far, but you were stuck in a car for how many hours? And you came to meet and greet, which was so touching to me. I just
Oh, we were so excited. Yeah, it was a long drive, mainly because we came out on Friday and we drove out there during rush hour, which I didn't realize rush hour was a thing out there. It was. You'd think after spending so much time in San Francisco, I would remember. It's not that different out there than in the city. But yeah, so it was about 8 hours. But we also missed the ferry. So we had to drive up all the way up around the Horn and then come back down. So, but it was a blast. I love being with Valdis and Craig. They're amazing folks. So the four of us had a good time driving.
Yeah, y'all sauntered up, and it was just like, and I'm like, I like these people. This is some good energy that's walking up on me, like, and I'm just like, yes, check the tattoos, check the. I'm like, yep, check. These are good people.
All of the above.
People.
Well, it's probably why. We have kind of a. My husband's a performer and has been a performer for decades. He's a singer, songwriter. And because of his passion and love for music, he started a business back in 2002 called Nightlife Network Northwest. And this network was a magazine for a long time. So it was a monthly magazine. It was free. And it was kind of like it was kind of an underground rag for a while. And then it made more of a mainstream type thing and was pushed out all the way over to Seattle, down to the Tri-Cities. Nice. It was in Idaho and Oregon and some in California. But anyways, so he started this business so he could submerge himself in entertainment. And with Nightlife Network, that's what I was doing before pre-COVID. I was booking and promoting and creating festivals and events and that sort of thing. And marketing and graphic design and doing all the fun stuff. And so once COVID hit, it got really strange. So I was able to focus more on my aspect of things. And I'm loving it. And I'm not doing a lot of entertainment or festivals right now because it's hard to navigate. New rules, new regulations, trepidation and apprehension in the community of should we go, shouldn't we go? And online
you don't want to be the asshole that wants to go, right?
Right. And then online events are such a new thing that it still hasn't caught on. I think it will in the world of Zoom meetings and that sort of thing and people working from home. However, online festivals and events haven't really taken hold. And I think they will. I think it's kind of sad that they will because one, it's great for entertainment, but I am an in-person person. I love the energy of a large group of folks having a blast. I love the way that feels. When you put on, so here we have an event called Pig Out in the Park. You know, there's like.
That's so cute.
It's huge. It's been 43 years it's been going. 42.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I've been assisting in the booking of the entertainment portion now. This would have been my 4th year, but it was canceled again. So booking these events, that's a 6-day festival and it's just full of people.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people. It's the largest, what did they say? It was the largest free music food focused event in like on the West Coast or something. It's huge. And so last year got canceled. This year it got canceled. But in 2019, we had booked Coolio. We booked Scott Stapp. We booked, oh God, I can't remember the names of these groups. Anyways, all these large.
You had me at Coolio. I'm just like, my husband and I still, every now and again, we just like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor.
Yeah.
Like a dad. Oh, like we love it. We,
He
yeah,
pulled
I think so, yeah.
he pulled in the biggest crowd that they've ever seen in the Lilac Bowl,
Oh,
which is this huge place with a big stage and stuff. In this location, right in Riverfront Park in Spokane, downtown Spokane, there was like 16,500 people crammed into this place in 2019 in August.
oh
The
wow.
biggest response, amazing guy. Anyways, I love the way that feels when you stop. And first of all, when you're planning the event, you have 6 to 8 months of craziness. Hold on.
What is going on?
What is that?
What'd you find? What'd you find? What is it? Oh, what are those bugs? Those are crazy bugs.
What is that?
It's a type of beetle, and and it flew. It's a type of beetle.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's all I know.
He
It's
peeked up over the top.
name.
He peeked up over the top while I was talking, right above my camera, and was looking at me.
He was like, "Hello."
He's like, "Stop, bitch! What's going on?"
Are we doing it live? Let me give out the other.
Like, oh, God, nobody warned me. So, anyways, when you're in an event and you feel the energy of the people enjoying themselves, and you can sit back and just submerge yourself in that group and just be like, it's almost vampiric, where you just you can absorb all of that energy. A stink bug, Julie said.
Stink bug, and 3 other people confirmed.
I just realized I didn't have my comments turned on.
I can always throw them up there for you. No worries. No worries.
I got them. So, anyways, hello everyone. I got sidetracked, which I kind of have a tendency to do. My name is Monique. I live in Spokane, Washington, and
hashtag Washington Witch Squad.
So I own Amara Bee, which is basically, it's currently an online store. And we have a blog, and I've got some ladies that work with me. My husband assists a lot. There it is. That's my business card. And we do everything, all of the candles and soaps and everything is all handmade. Our incense, everything, we do it here in this space. I just recently, a lotion bar. I just recently moved into the basement space of my home, which used to be Nightlife Network headquarters. But because Nightlife Network, yes, which one did you get?
Smells so good. You got me Aphrodite one, which is very interesting because I was working with Aphrodite, and my whole back porch, like when I moved from Texas, I had an altar for her, and then I hadn't set one up here because I've got the ocean. You've seen where I live. So
Yes.
The whole back porch is the Permaid Pub and Lounge. So I'm considering to put, and I'm like, this is perfect because I just found her box with her statue, with all of the stuff, and I'm like, this is perfect. So I was very excited about this. Very excited.
Well, that was one of the things that it was a mix, and I didn't like it, so I mixed it, and after I think it was about 10 or 12 different mixes, finally I found one that spoke to my olfactory senses and my energy, and I went, yep, there it is.
Yep, there it is. Yep, there it is. No, it smells delicious, divine. Your lotion bar, it's very interesting. Okay, so people get on me. They're, as other shop owners, they're just like, you make all of this stuff. Why are you going to tell us about their stuff? I said, because it has different energy to it. Yeah, I use different stuff. She makes soy candles. I make soy candles. I make lotion bars. She makes lotion bars. It doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing. Mine is frankincense and orange and bergamot. So totally different,
and even if the scents end up the same, the energy that goes into the creation is different. And I found, like, when Valdez pours soap, her soap batches feel different than mine. Yeah. And so it's the energy that goes into it. And so because of that, she pours a specific variety now, and that's what she does. That way, people, when anybody buys it, if they buy it again and they're super sensitive to the energy, they're not like, This is different.
This is different.
There's that one. So this used to be the Nightlife Network headquarters. Nightlife Network got quiet because of COVID, so Amara B moved down here so I could have more space. Now, when we moved into this house, onto a little bit of a ghost story here. When we moved into this house.
Oh yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to talk to you because I'm just like, hey girl, hey.
Ah, hey.
How you doing?
I got you. When we moved into this house, I was living in San Francisco with my family, and my husband came back up here to find a home because we wanted out of the Bay Area. It was so stifling. It was just, I was a property manager down there, commercial property manager, and I was working for GE. And loved my job, loved it, but I was managing 1.5 million square feet of retail office space all along the coast, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. So we moved back here and changed our life. But in the meantime, I wanted to share, when we moved into this house, I walked into this place sight unseen. Husband picked it. He says wife's going to love it. So he leased the space and we moved in. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and basically skip the first night, which I'm going to tell you about. But we came here and I started unpacking boxes and stuff. And there was a bunch of shit down in the basement. And every time I came down here, I got this feeling. I never saw anything at first. But every time I came down here, I had this feeling that I was very familiar with of being not accepted in a space. And that feeling of when you turn your back and you feel like you should run up the stairs, like, and the higher up in the stairs you go, the faster you want to run.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with that. And I said, well, I'm going to have to probably cleanse. But I don't want to just walk in and say, I'm here, everyone get the hell out. I didn't want to do that because to me, that's rude. So I wanted to take some time and introduce myself and introduce the family and kind of get a feel for the space before I started doing anything witchy. Of course, I did make a statement in my bedroom and said, this is my space.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Exactly. And so, 7 years. The only time I came down here was to do laundry for 7 years.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh. I came down here. I would do my work for Nightlife upstairs because it was so uncomfortable down here for me. Zach loved it down here. He wrote music down here. So anyways, I come down to do laundry and I'd hurry up and put the laundry in and be like, for 7 years. So when I cleansed my home, I would always cleanse down here too, but it felt so different. So anyways, I moved down here. And as soon as I started, because I brought all my ritual stuff down too. I mean, I've got an altar in the corner and basically made the space mine. And I spoke to whatever was here and let them know, hey, we're going to be roommates. I know that you've been chasing me around for 7 years and we're roommates now. So, and for about 2 weeks, because I've only been down here for a month and a half, I guess. So for about 2 weeks, the energy in this space felt like it was holding its breath. So when I came down here, it was like,
oh, just here.
Still. Yeah. Like somebody, when you walk into a conversation when someone's talking about you and they look at you and they're like, oh, shh.
Yeah. But I'm the bitch that'd be like, so what's up? You want to know? You want to ask me? Just ask me. Like, what's up?
Right. So it was just odd. And over time, it seems to have just it's slowly exhaling. But that exhale began on Friday when I brought some flowers down here because you get to a point where you're like, all right, okay, you know what? I'm going to be here every day, all day. This is where I work. So can we overcome this awkward feeling?
Yeah.
And so I was down here and I'm talking to the walls and shit, anybody outside or, think I've lost my mind. Basically, I said, I made a deal. And I said, so I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. I would like to be comfortable in this space. what can I offer you? I want to be your friend. What can I offer you to make it so that you will relax? Because I have no ill will. You should know me by now. 7 years you've been chasing me around. So, whoever it is. Anyways, instantly in my head popped in a vase of flowers. And I went, done. So I went out in the backyard and I picked some flowers and brought a vase down. And that was Friday afternoon. And it has felt totally different ever since. So my deal is once a month, I bring fresh flowers down here for my entire stay. And that's the deal that I have. And that's the deal I will uphold, guaranteed. Now, hopefully,
nice.
They stick to their end of the deal. Now, the weird thing is, I don't feel people down here. That's the weird thing. I know what people feel like, at least in my experience, what people feel like. This feels different than people. And down here in the basement.
Like elemental energy, like that type situation, old.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Very, people feel flexible. Energy feels flexible when they're human energy. There's a flexibility there. Like maybe it's a bad mood. Elementals don't have bad moods. It feels natural. It feels old. And what plays into that are the weird, dark bowling ball shadow things that roll around on the floor down here that I see every so often. They're like the size of a bowling ball and they're dark. And it's like a shadow that just goes and is gone. Unlike upstairs. So upstairs. Okay, now I'm going to back up.
Back up. I'm all in. I'm like,
I'm all in. Which is why before we went live, I was asking you when I went up to go smoke a cigarette, I said, hey, did anything weird happen down here? My first memory of spirit activity was when I was between 18 months and 2 years old. 18 months and 2 years old. Okay. And I know that because my mom hung like a mobile above my bed. Mm-hmm. And she would turn it on every night and it would play You Are My Sunshine. Mm-hmm. And I called it my music. Well, I remember being a tiny little girl. It came down when I was 2. Mom took it down. I can't remember what happened. I think the string broke or something. But I remember laying in bed and listening and watching in the dark, watching the mobile go and listening to the music as I fell asleep. Mm-hmm. Well, it was around that time that I noticed I was dozing off and then I heard something. I don't know, but I opened my eyes and my mobile started moving, even though it had been still, just moving on its own. And then I remember I used to hear what I called crumbs. Mom didn't understand what it was. I called it crumbs. And, I'm 2 and I was afraid of the crumbs noises. Well, the crumbs, I didn't find out until I was 30 what the crumbs were. And the crumbs are just spirit world communication. It's this
static.
It's
static. It's or they call it hell speak. Is that something else that they call it? But yeah,
I've never heard that.
It's what they use in the church. So it's very much a Catholic term or phrase. Is called hell speak. But yes, like, people are like, I see dead people. I rarely see dead people. I will see dead people, but that's what I usually hear first. It's that, and I could tell, like, you remember the movie Predator?
Girl, that's exactly what I see.
Okay, so that weird, when he goes invisible, kind of, unless they want to show themselves, like, I could tell where the energy is, and if they don't want to show themselves, they won't, but otherwise, I hear it more than anything.
Right. So I was afraid of the crumbs at 2. And then by the time I was 5, I had a friend, her name was Sarah, which my mother, very supportive. She's a wonderful lady. But my mother would come in and she'd hear me chatting with Sarah. She never admonished me for it. I'm an only child. So I guess only children have a tendency to have. You're an only child too? So is my husband.
Well, I'm only child until I was 14. My sister was born 14 years and 1 day after me. So I was raised as an only child for, a big chunk of it. But yeah, and there is a difference. There is a difference. Um, I had a, I had a friend. I had a friend that I would talk to too, but I called him Elliot because I loved Pete's Dragon, and it came to me as Elliot.
Oh,
So
wow.
really cool. My dragon friend.
Well, I had Sarah as my friend, and it never struck me as odd. And her and I we'd play together and we'd talk in the middle of the night, but she lived underneath my vanity. So I used to
Mm.
have this little vanity with a chair with a mirror and stuff.
Mhm.
Old piece from it was my great grandmother's little piece, like I don't know. Anyways, so she lived underneath there, and at bedtime she would come out and I would talk to her. And sometimes we'd get in like I'd get frustrated with her. I'm like, no, I'm trying to sleep. I'm gonna get in trouble because my mom would hear me
Oh,
talking. She'd come in and once I told my mom the story about Sarah, I was like, it wasn't me.
yeah, yeah.
Leave me alone. And my mom would walk in and she put her hands on her hips. She's like, girls, even though it's just me,
Girl,
girls, now it's bedtime.
I love it.
But and it's those kind of experiences. So I have many throughout the years. Um, so basically, it wasn't until I was about 32 or 33 where I started exploring this. I don't know, aspect of my brain is what I like to call it, because I don't know. I started really looking into it and kind of trying to figure out, well, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
How is it that I can see these things and hear these things? And so, anyways, I also found out there's an ebb and flow to it. So, beginning in around October of last year, something happened. And although I can still feel the energy around me, I haven't seen any of the watery, displaced air things. I'm starting to now. Just
Uh-huh.
in the past month or so, it's starting to come back. Prior to that, I lost my capabilities in 2013 for a whole year.
Weird.
Shit, it's been a year. It's October now.
So now it's starting to come back again.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that was 8 years ago. I lost my capabilities of seeing stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, and it was in August that I lost it. No, it was September 1st that I lost it last time. And it was October this time. And I got COVID in October. At the end of October, I got COVID last year. And I was diagnosed with a positive in November 3rd. And I was really, really sick. Out of all the people that got it when we got it, there was a bunch of us that got it seemingly at the same time. Of course, probably because we were gathering, which we shouldn't have been. Dumb. But I got it really bad. And it took about, gosh, it was like 8 weeks before I felt okay. And then it was another month before I felt even close to normal. It was bad. Anyways, so
sorry. That's awful.
but it was during that time that I seemed to have lost the ability to see anything. And I don't know why. And I was afraid that it damaged my brain or something. And I wasn't going to be able to see anymore.
Gotcha.
But it's starting to come back. So, story time. I have a lot of stories, but the one that I do want to share. I married my husband in 2008. And he's a rational skeptic. Very scientific minded, very rational, very logical. And so am I. And that's why I think we do get along so well. And I think that's why it took so long for me to start exploring this aspect to my brain and how I see the world, because I had to get through that weird filter of calling my own self crazy. Because and then trying to get through that my own filter of saying you're seeing things that aren't there. Nobody else can see these things. So I had to get through that. And I still have a hard time with it sometimes because I over rationalize. Anyways, so my husband, we got married and we started having normal shit go on. The normal things, where's my hairbrush? I put my wallet here and now it's not here anymore. Were you home earlier today? I heard footsteps. Don't leave the goddamn door open. Excuse my language. These things that are normal in my life that Zach started experiencing. And he was having it was challenging for him at first because he was like, dude, you don't understand. Somebody was wearing boots upstairs and there was nobody here. And I was going, yeah, that's, yeah, I think that Bill, I think is what I called him. Anyways, it was a very strange time. So we decided to take a trip in 2017 to go to Seattle with a friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And we went, rented a hotel. It was for Hempfest. We decided to go out. Zach was performing at Hempfest.
Nice.
So we went out and we got a hotel and it was right by the Space Needle. Mm-hmm. And so one night we decided to take a walk up Queen Anne Hill to go have dinner at this. I don't know. We were hungry. We were going to just walk around and started drinking, having fun.
Yeah.
You just do your thing. You just mosey around. So we ended up at this restaurant. And as we were walking, I started feeling more and more apprehensive as we were making it in this area. And so that weird, unsettled feeling tells me that there's quite a bit of energetic activity going on. So a lot of people.
Have you done any research on Queen Anne neighborhood? Because I mean, it's pretty thick.
I haven't, but my husband looked into stuff after this trip. I had no idea. And most of the time, because of my rational, skeptical brain that I got going on, I won't research on purpose because I don't want to be influenced by anything.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I'll go somewhere and then afterwards I'll take notes now and draw sketches and shit. And then I will go back and research. And Zach helps me with that. So anyways, we decided to go to this restaurant and we go in and we sit down, and from my aspect, I'm watching this ball of energy that nobody seems to see dart around like chaotic up by the ceiling. And I'm watching weird stuff happen, like lights flicker. One guy, it would buzz past this one guy and his napkin would fall off his lap every time. And so he's reaching down, picking up his napkin, and then a couple minutes later, I'm watching this dude's napkin falls off his lap again. So we're sitting there, and we're there with one of our good friends, who's a Spokane Valley police officer. He was with us. He went on this trip with us. Also, rational skeptic. So I think he thinks that I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But anyway, so we're sitting at this table. And we order our drinks and we get our food. And my husband used to smoke. He quit 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now. Anyways, he used to smoke. So he was a heavy smoker. So he was constantly going outside. Every time he stood up, he had to brush the salt off of his lap. Okay.
Oh, wow.
The first time he did that, there's salt all over him. And he was like, what the hell is going on? So he stood up and he brushed the salt off and he's like, where's the salt coming from? I'll be right back. I'm going to go smoke. Goes outside, comes back in and sits down. And we're chatting and stuff, waiting for our food. About 10 minutes goes by. Husband needs another smoke because he's a heavy smoker. So he stands up again and is like, where is the salt coming from? Every single time, the whole time we were there, he was covered. It was on his shirt. It's like it was falling from the ceiling or something.
Wow.
He had it in his hair. It was just weird. Salt. So that happened throughout our whole visit. We get our food. She sets the food down in front of us. And I'm giggling because I'm watching the weird energy. Husband is having salt issues. Dude over here can't seem to keep his napkin on his lap. There's this one spot that whenever anyone goes to the bathroom, they trip over their own foot, and I'm watching the weirdness go on around me, just giggling. And then there's this weird sound like a popping glass.
Oh, okay. And
glass flew out of, I have no idea where, and landed one piece, big chunk landed in my margarita. One piece landed in my food plate that we waited like an hour to get.
Oh my God.
There was little shards of glass all over the table, and our friend and my husband and I all heard it. We're looking at the glass like sparkles on the table. And so our friend and my husband, being who they are, they're like, okay, where's the candle? Looking that maybe the candle popped, like a candle holder. Maybe it broke, got too hot. We're looking for everything. trying to figure out where this glass came from. To this day, we had no idea. We exhausted all of our efforts, not to mention the fact that there was no salt on any tables. No salt shakers on any tables. I looked for that too.
What the hell?
Right. So I felt really bad for the lady, our waitress. But when she came back around, I felt bad. We all felt bad because she's working really hard. But we're like, I don't know what happened, but there's glass in our food.
There's glass everywhere, and we don't know why.
We can't eat this because there's glass in it. And I told her, I was like, if we have to buy another plate, I'll buy another plate. I don't want you to think I'm trying to get free food, because I'm not. I will more than willing pay for it, but I can't eat it because there's glass in it.
Yeah.
So she started kind of chuckling, and she said, oh, yeah. So I can't remember what she called the guy. They have a ghost, I guess, who causes problems, and he's constantly causing issues.
Uh-huh.
She's the one that brought up the ghost idea. And both the guys are sitting there going, they're blaming it on the ghost.
They're like, whatever.
Really? A ghost? Well, she started telling some ghost stories. We ended up getting our food, and everything was fine. But it was a Mexican restaurant right across the street from a hotel. And she was telling us, I think it's like, I don't know if it's directly across the street, but anyway, she was telling us across the street, if you want more ghost activity, go to that hotel over there. And it was like the Queen Anne Hotel or something.
Oh.
So there was, that story is, one where we had experienced these things together. Now, most recently in my space down here, Valdis was working last week, and she was pouring resin, I think. And I ran upstairs to go get some small coffee filters for the Keurig, because I want regular coffee. I didn't want to use the K-cups. So I went upstairs, and I hear her talking, and I'm running back downstairs, and I peeked around the corner, and I was like, what? I couldn't hear you. And she stopped, and she was like, weren't you just down here? Like,
you're like, no.
No.
Like, no.
She's like, I could swear you peeked around the corner and I was talking to you. So then there was another instance on Wednesday. I was down here. It's like 1 a.m. and I'm working. And we have super high bar stool type office chairs. They're real. So because
they're looking up this restaurant, is it the El Mexicalito?
Probably.
Whatever. I'm just like, if that's where you went, because it's across from a hotel. I think that's where you were at.
What's the name of the hotel?
Okay, I lost it. I moved. Damn it. Well, okay, so it's very close to the Space Needle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's real close to the Space Needle. And then there's also the Macaw Hall, and then some other stuff. Hold up. Hampton Inn and Suites. There's the Maxwell Hotel. That's up. I've moved. I can't find it.
Well, I think that is because when we left the restaurant, Mexican food restaurant, she was pointing across the street, and it was a hotel across the street. Looked really cool. Made me really anxious, though. So it led me to believe that there was a lot of activity there.
Mediterranean Inn?
No, this is Mexican. Definitely Mexican food. Like
the hotel was called the Mediterranean Inn.
Oh, see, and I thought it was, I thought it had the Queen Anne in the name.
Okay, I'll keep looking. You keep talking. I'm going to find it.
So on Wednesday, I was down here working. We have really tall office chairs. They're an office chair, but they're really elevated because we have standing desks over here where we do all of our work. And I was sitting in an office chair, and I'm really short, so my legs never touch the ground anyways. So I have my feet propped up on the little bar stool piece, and my legs are crossed, and I'm leaning up against the desk, and I'm typing, right, on my computer.
Okay.
And I feel like this bump, not heavy bump, but a bump. What?
I got it. You were eating at Agave Cochina.
Yes.
at tequilas and tequilas, and the inn across the street is the inn at Queen Anne.
Yes,
that's where you were at.
That's where we were.
I
That's
suppose.
where we were. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yes, that
Okay.
deserves a sip of coffee.
Yeah, okay, just sip. We have to take the drinks.
So I'm leaning on the desk, the tall standing desk, and I'm typing with my hand using the trackpad and stuff, and I felt something bump my chair. And I thought it was Kona at first, and I looked, just a quick glance, and didn't see anything. Went back to work, and then all of a sudden my chair was shoved, and it rolled closer to the desk. So I stopped, and I looked, and there was nothing there. And so I don't get creeped out very often. I do, I'm a normal person, but I don't get creeped out often because it happens for a second and then my brain kicks in and I'm like, okay, don't get scared, because the last thing you want to do is put that energy out there. So just control your space. You're sovereign in your space. Yep. So I did get creeped out though, because I hadn't made my deal yet, because that was on Friday. So I literally stood up down here by myself. I stood up out of the desk and I was like, all right, you win. And I went and ran up the stairs. And I told Zach, I was like, dude, you're not going to believe what just happened. And Zach said, I spent years down there. I believe you. And I said,
so he dealt with it down there? He did it?
So many experiences. I should go get him. We should share this. I'm going to text him and see if he wants to come down.
Oh my goodness. So this whole time you were thinking that you were just like, it was just happening to you and it was happening to him too.
Yes, but it was happening to him all the time. But he had a rational explanation for everything, but it never made sense to me.
Okay.
You know? Where he's like, well, there's some things you couldn't explain. I'm going to text him and see if he wants to join us. He might be upstairs writing. So I said, you win, and I ran upstairs.
You win. Like
you win. And then today, I don't know, hour before we went live, I was upstairs. I was upstairs doing something. Oh, I came down to get my coffee. Rounded the corner to come downstairs, and it's a straight shot down the stairs, so you can see in the basement. So I came around the corner and I'm at the top of the stairs, swinging around to go down the stairs, and this dark mass goes right across the floor. And I stood there and went, holy crap, scared the shit out of me. So I come downstairs, I'm like, good Lord. Grabbed my coffee, went back upstairs and told Zach, and he's just giggling. He's like, yep.
So he saw those too. He saw those little black masses.
Oh, he's going to come down and join us. Yay! So I would like to hear a little bit more about his experiences down here too. So I'm going to scoot over a little bit.
You scoot.
Yay. I want to give him a chair. Bear with me a minute. Oh, and the dog.
Please hold while we rework the stage. Hold up just 1 second.
Yeah. Hi, my love.
Hi, Bunny.
Hey, Zach. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so she's telling me all these stories about what had happened down there, and apparently, then she just dropped it on me, saying, "And she told you," and you're like, "Yeah, I was down there for years." So tell us. So you were having the same experiences?
Yeah, the space. Well, yeah, I write songs and stuff, so I'm constantly digging into things that into other places or whatnot. And this place was rich for all that stuff, but it was weird stuff too. So that's how I noticed it. But all sorts of movement and fun little energy things out of the corner of my eye, all that kind of stuff. But really, when it comes to writing songs, it was always prevalent. So
really,
I've had my most prolific time has been down here, but some of the darkest, weirdest stuff that I've written has been down here. So I might say something about my own mind as well, but
the rational skeptic.
Well, I mean, where am I at with the craziness in my head?
Well, I was telling them about, she found, it's the Kachina something, the restaurant in Seattle.
Yep, I found it. It is the agave cochina, and tequilas at Queen Anne, and then right across the street is the Inn at Queen Anne.
Yes.
Is that right?
The Inn at Queen Anne. That's that hotel.
Oh man.
So
our website.
That was an interesting night.
So share a little bit about your experience. I shared from my perspective. I would love to hear from yours.
Well, the thing that I can't shake was definitely the salt on my pants over and over and over again.
What the hell is that about?
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
There's no explanation that I could come up with. There's no, I mean, it blew my mind. And plus there was kind of a vibe that came with that. It made you get the goosebumps and whatnot. So it was, it was interesting. But then the glass breaking, I'm sure you told that story.
Just from my perspective, that was weird. I mean, I know you and our friend you guys tried to figure out the best.
We're both like, what, is somebody messing with us? Or,
right.
And we're looking around and that it's just not set up. I mean, someone could have messed with us and made it look like they weren't doing something, but
why us?
And,
in a full restaurant? Yeah. We're out of towners.
I'd like to see that video if it's on video.
Somebody says they were protecting you.
Someone was protecting you.
Could be.
Potentially, yes. Dude was...
Salt that man up.
I know. Dude was, the guy zipping around, the man zipping around was not a happy camper.
Really?
No, I was getting so much negativity from him, but I thought it was funny. He wasn't fucking with me. Excuse me. I'm going to get us shut down on YouTube for dropping F-bombs.
I say it all the time. I'm not worried about it at all.
Well, we also had a situation that I haven't shared yet that I'd like for you to share your perspective. So our house, I found out after some time that our house used to be, it's a mixed use home, retail and residential, and it used to be a shoe store. But I found this out after some research. So I'm watching, at this point, I'm watching this spirit roll through our house, and I'm watching him like peruse things in the kitchen or the dining room, but there's nothing there, but he looks like he's looking at something. And then he goes over and he's looking at something else. And I'm watching this and I'm going, what is going on? What is he doing? Zach is sitting there with me on the floor, and I can't remember what you said, but I brought it up. And what did you say? Do you remember? We're sitting in front of the fireplace. Remember? What did you say to him?
It wasn't my best day. Nothing, not as respectful as I'd like to be normally, I think, probably. But it was still probably not super bad.
You're never rude.
But it was enough to antagonize.
He was being a smart ass or something.
It was the most obvious feeling of change that I couldn't see with my own eyes, of the atmosphere, of the air around me that I'd ever experienced. And I've had a couple experiences that were similar to that, but that was just immediate, and the look on her face, I think, after my reaction was, I think, also. I watched this person, this entity zip fast, almost like disappear and reappear. It was so fast, because I remember Zach said something like, "Can I help you?" or something. I can't even remember. Whatever it was he said. It was something flippant like that.
Flippant, like, "Hey, can I help you find something?" type thing. And the guy, the energy I watched instantaneously show up and like curl around my husband's side over the top of his head, almost like this weird banana shape.
Yep.
While that was happening,
it was some Harry Potter shit. It was like a Dementor or something.
It was a man. So
I didn't see it. I don't know. I just felt it and was like, well, that doesn't feel like a man.
While that was happening.
I mean, not normally.
Do you have lots of men curling up around you like a banana?
Well, when they get
on the daily,
when they get in your face, and you can smell them, and they're usually not super friendly. They're that close. I believe he was super close. There's usually, when I'm next to a guy, or a gal, it's not usually a buzz. It gives me goosebumps. I usually can walk around town and not have goosebumps constantly and be like, what the hell did I just do?
What just happened? No, I understand that feeling, because we were house hunting in Bellingham, because that's where we originally wanted to be, not on Whitby Island. and Bear and I are going through a house, and there is something, and I'm laughing because for Bear crying. I mean, it was a nasty one. It was really bad, and it was downstairs, and it felt like if you got close upstairs to like one of the vents from down below, like it would crawl up your back and just sort of like.
Ugh.
I'm like, it was just a horrible feeling. It was just, you're just like, I don't know what that is, and I don't want it.
Right. Explanation, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of weird experiences. At one point, my husband walked upstairs. I was out. I'm sleeping, and he walked upstairs to our bedroom, and he remember the mist?
Yeah. I was still in bed. I saw a mist too. Yeah.
Yeah. So he came up
in my eyes sometimes. I don't know.
He saw a mist
Yeah.
floating over the top of the bed when I was sleeping.
Mhm.
There was another time where
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking
yeah. So there was another time where we had a nasty. We've really only had one nasty here, just one that I've experienced.
Have you all checked your ley lines or your meridian lines? Have you done any research on that? Because it sounds to me like you've got Grand Central Station, and there's a reason for it. You know, like they're just passing through. They're not sticking around long enough. Except for the one in the basement feels like that's
not a person. It doesn't feel like a person to me. Well, there was a person, but the stuff that's still here doesn't feel like people. And it feels like I don't know, it feels like an avenue where it almost feels like a walkway that comes through the front door area and straight through the house. So ever since I put a clock there, so I took that space and put a grandfather clock there, and it has mirrors that face the door. Ever since we put that clock there, I have not seen anyone moving through that space. So I'm thinking that may have helped a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. But we did have one nasty that hung out up in the bedroom for a while, not for too long, because I'm not going to let shit last for too long. But I was having a hard time getting rid of him. And it was human. It was a guy, as far as I know, and he was just not a nice person. We lost a bird through the process. We had a cockatiel. She didn't make it. And just slightly before she passed, literally minutes, the shadow passed in front of the TV. All the lights are out. We have the TV on, and it just, and then our bird started freaking out, and she didn't make it through that process. But it hurt me enough and pissed me off enough that I had what I needed to make sure to clear it out. You know, and he helped me too. So, yeah.
Did you tell him about Seattle? Not just the restaurant and the hotel, but the venue. I don't know.
Oh shit!
Like my band was playing a show.
Central Saloon.
Central Saloon. We were playing there, but we went to another place before the show, I thought.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and that.
Oh,
yeah. You tell the story.
Okay, so I learned the hard way. We're gonna run out of time. We only have 8 minutes left, but I learned the hard way that I don't care if you can see spirits and you know how to sense energies. Never get too big for your britches.
Nope.
And I learned that the hard way because we're going to some haunted bar restaurant thing that has these cool like spirit stuff going on in the basement before a show one night.
Yeah.
And I think it's the night we played Central Saloon. So
we played Seattle a lot of times. I like Seattle very much.
There's the Russian. So anyways, I decided, that'd be cool. I want to go down and see what's going on. And I didn't even stop to think twice about the fact that I'm entering a haunted space. I just marched my happy ass down there like I know what the hell's going on.
You're in work mode. You're like, I don't have time for ghosts right now.
She was just like, she was walking in, and then she was like, nope.
I walked down the stairs, made it down the stairs to where this tour was going on, got to the bottom of the stairs, peeked around a corner, and this energy and darkness rushed my face.
Gotcha.
So it was like I peeked around the corner, it just went. I turned right around and was like, nope, 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 nope. Right back up the stairs.
Nope,
It
nope,
was
nope.
immediate anxiety, immediate heart palpitations, immediate nausea. I'm out of there. I'm out. And I hadn't even finished my drink upstairs. I think I had one sip. Yeah.
It's not
I have a theory. I have a theory that when that happens, it's that they're very intelligent. You know, it's not a residual haunting by any
Right.
means. It's not going to be a thing. They're very intelligent. They already spotted you before you spotted them, and now they're like feeling out like what's going on? What's going on with this one? Why is there a beacon on the top of her head? What's going on? And they start like poking.
Yeah.
And it just feels okay. So when that happens, when it gets to me, I get this hot flash, and then I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Here we go. It's like, and it's the same thing if you go into like big like rock quarries, like Nature's Treasures in Austin, Texas, has rocks everywhere. You just big huge piles, and there's just so much energy that you just can't. You like you just like too much. Yeah.
Right. See, and mine is I feel like a knock on my chest, a physical thump thump, or sometimes it's thump thump thump. It's where my heart literally feels like my heart's going boom 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 in fast succession. It doesn't hurt, but then my blood in my neck, it's like my veins in my neck get icy. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Everything gets really cold. It's like all the blood rushes out of my body or something. So I get the thump thump, my blood runs cold, and then I start feeling nauseated a little bit. And my nausea depends on the intensity, I guess.
Yeah.
But I always know when I'm being approached by something or experiencing something because I call it up. We've got a visitor. They're knocking. Because it feels like knock, knock, knock on my chest.
Oh, man.
And that's what starts it for me. So at least it's calmed down since I got sick, you know. Or when did we move that clock in?
I don't know.
August, September.
Sounds fair.
Huh.
He's like, I agree. I concur. I concur.
I wonder if the grandfather clock has something to do with protecting that space and things from entering. Maybe.
Yep. You could charge it. You could charge it to do something.
And I did. Every time I call it feeding grandpa. Every time I wind the clock, I'm feeding grandpa. And every time I do that, I'm pushing energy into the clock for prosperity and for happiness and protection and joy and light and all that stuff. So every time I feed him, it's nice and slow. And in my brain, I'm talking to grandpa because we call him grandpa because he's grandfather clock and he always has something to say in 2 minutes. And no matter what you're listening to, it's always, if you're listening to music, when grandpa goes off, it's always dissonant notes and it sounds terrible.
It's never in the right scale. It
messes up music. It's never in the right scale.
It's always just an off note. Like, come on, man.
Come on, grandpa, get with it.
Well, I have a cartoon to it, though.
He tuned his guitar to grandpa, so it didn't sound so bad.
Just a little off the D, a little off. I think, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
We only have 3 minutes left. This is Zach, my husband.
Hi.
I didn't get to introduce him. Been married a long time. And I don't think he knew what he was getting into when he said I do. But here we are.
I'm super proud. It's fun.
Now he's married to a witch and a woman who talks to spirits when she sees them, if it'll ever happen again.
Right.
Maybe it's a different aspect of life. Although I am seeing stuff again. It's just not what it used to be.
Just not what it used to be. It does come. It does come and go. It does with me too. Summer times it feels, sort of chill. And then now here we go. And there's something particular about, I don't know if it's because we've got retrograde and all these planets going direct. I don't know what's happening, but this feels like a totally different veil than I've felt in a long time.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
It feels my ability to see and hear things is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
it feels different. It feels more intense than normal, I think.
That's,
There's a depth and intensity to it that's I'm not accustomed to. And I'm glad to hear you're going through that, because I thought it was just my abilities coming back online, maybe after for whatever reason they weren't. I don't know. But it feels strange.
I'm starting to do different types of awards that I had before, because the other stuff that I had isn't working, or it works with some but not for all. And so it's like, I gotta lock this shit down. Like, here we go again. And I'll tell you, this is, if you are a witch and you're doing any type of, spell work at all, even if you're making products, please, for the love of God, do some self-care, do some rituals. You got to replenish yourself. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a dangerous spot, dangerous spot with what's going on.
Well, see, and it's funny because I locked the house, the whole property down with the understanding it was for the living and for energetics. And I locked the whole property down so tight that the pizza man couldn't find our house. Nobody can find our house. We're right on the street. It's a house on the street, easy to find. Yep, no one can find us. The pizza man, the grocery delivery guy.
You need to back it up just a little bit.
I know.
Just a little. You need to eat.
It's inconvenient, but it's still nice.
It is nice. And it's not that you can't see the house. It's just that my intention was these are not the droids you're looking for. So nobody would pay attention and even notice.
Yeah.
Thank you for the Star Wars reference.
You're welcome. All right.
I love it. I love both of you guys so much.
We love you guys.
I wasn't so busy during meet and greet that I had time to actually sit and talk with y'all. But I feel a connection. It's definitely going to happen, and we will definitely be doing work together at some point.
I look forward to it. I'd love to do an event with you. We got to come up with something. I mean, maybe halfway through, I don't know why anybody would want to go to Moses Lake, but hey
now. There's a lake there.
Or what is the middle point? It starts with an E.
Ellensburg.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh no, you're just disparaging the entire central part of Washington State. They're lovely people. She means
it's not the people, it's the smell.
We did live in one of the stinkiest cities in California. Not to be named and not to shame those people for their stinky town.
I'm not stink shaming. I'm just saying.
One factory comes in and they ruin the town for everyone. It's not the people's fault. The factory stinks.
It smells like feet and cheese.
All right.
Oh no, it's the same thing when you go on the wrong day to Port Townsend. You're like, the paper factory is up and going. What is that smell?
What is that sweet sulfur smell?
The modern world is very stinky.
It's very smelly out there, people. Self-care nose plug.
All righty, we should probably sign off. I have a lot more. If you need another visitor, if you need someone to fill in, I can share a lot more. I kind of rambled tonight, but it was fun.
It was good. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that you're sharing that, because it is really important for others to hear some of the stuff. And it's something that I also I guess I preach on my channel, but I also talk about it with other people. It's not everything that goes bump in the night means you harm. There are things that you also asked for in your practice, and that might be Aunt Martha that rolled up on you. So be reverent. Give it a minute.
It's your grandmother. You don't have to chase her out with salt.
I know. Monique and I were rude. We were so rude.
Gotta have empathy here. Imagine that was you.
Right.
Yeah.
Stop in and visit, and they're throwing salt at you and blowing smoke in your face. Get out.
Rude.
Giving them goosebumps though. They're why is this? I can't see it.
Oh shit! After I die, if I come back and visit, they're gonna get a whole hell of a lot more than just goosebumps.
I say the same thing. I'm just I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it. I can't.
I'm gonna be in their ear.
I'm just gonna mess with them. I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be like that cat on the counter, just knocking shit over.
I'm gonna be touching faces. They're is there a spider web on my face?
I love it. I love it.
I'm
love
gonna
both of you guys so much.
I'm gonna end up getting exercised. Someone's gonna be like, "Get her out of here." Okay. All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on very much. I really appreciate your time. And I hope if you guys need some wonderful witchy products, you better head over to Amara B. You want to go check that out. I put the link in the chat, and I'm going to, once this uploads again, I will put it in the description box so you can go and get wonderful things, because this incense smells fucking amazing. You're gonna want some of that.
F-bomb number 6 in an hour.
Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Bye,
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.